anybody else like to add anything? Okay, we are going to move on to our closing statements for tonight. Each one of you will have 2 minutes to add to anything that you'd like to say. And this time, we are going to go in reverse alphabetical order. Again, starting with our incumbents. So we'll be starting with Ms. Williams. Clearly, you know your alphabet.
Okay, again, thank you so much for having us here. As I said, this is my 8th year. I am asking for your support, your vote, and your prayers to run another 4-year term. Public education is my passion. When I first ran for office on the school board, I said to parents, the community, wherever I would go, that I would like to do for your child what I would like done for my own. And I am very accessible, open to the public. You can call me day or night. I have a long list of parents and the community at large that if they call me, I will get them an answer. If I don't know the answer, I don't mind picking up the phone, calling the superintendent, or going to the principals or whatever. I do realize that I have only one vote on the school board. And I try to work with everyone. Last time I voted, I was the lone vote to get the teacher's assistance, but the majority voted for the bonus. But again, thank you, and as I said, I see myself as a public servant. And I have a favorite saying that I consider it a privilege to serve the people. Thank you.
Mr. Nance, you're up.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come out this evening, and please, I would like for you to vote for me on November the 8th. We've covered a plethora of things tonight. One thing we need to do is make our schools safer as well. And we need to make them safer for students and staff. I've had a proposal that I've bounced around and rolled out, and it got no traction. But what I would like to do is, it benefits the city and benefits the schools, is to take school resource officers who are sworn Portsmouth police officers and put them back on the street to help fill that short. At the same time, take and replace those school resource officers with sworn deputies from the sheriff's office. For every 3 police officers we replace, we could put 5 deputies in schools. So it would allow us to have greater coverage and increase security in schools. We need to focus more on cultural competency training for our staff and the students. We once had a program in Portsmouth called Face to Face with Race, and that was on the Ribbons program. We also need to make instruction more culturally relevant to the student. We need to meet the students where they are. We need to make instruction meaningful, interesting, and challenging. We need to work harder and smarter. Some good things that are happening in Portsmouth schools: every child can be fed every day in the morning for free. It's a free breakfast program. We don't have any more mobile classrooms deteriorating on our properties. Every building project that we did was done early and under budget. So we are responsible stewards of public money. Thank you.
Mr. Lamb, you're up.
Thank you again, and again, thank you to everyone that came out this evening. 4 years ago when I ran on a platform of 3 things. 1, I ran on a platform to promote, encourage, and actually to grow our PTAs across the city. I did make that promise. I did try to do that, and I worked with PTAs to get membership because I believe parents and communities involved in schools makes transparent schools and better schools. I told you also as well that I would vote for budgets that reflected priorities in the classroom. I kept that promise by looking at the budgets correctly and looking at them and voted accordingly. I also asked for your opinion on those budgets as well through surveys and whatnot. The last thing I had made a promise to you was this. I said I would keep you informed by visiting back with your organizations, your civic leagues and whatnot. And many of you in this room I have seen at civic league meetings and PTAs and so forth. I kept that promise. As we move forward, I want to serve you again and do very similar things, but look at down the road. Let's develop and build our VOTEC CTE. Let's go ahead and expand our STAR-based and STEM. Let's go ahead and finish the job and get these instructional assistants in the classroom. And like before, I make the same promise that I will turn around, yellow, okay, that I will, again, keep you informed, and I will communicate with you by not just visiting, but I will find other ways, too, to keep you informed with what's going on with your schools. Thank you, and I ask for your vote November 8, 2016.
Our last incumbent of the night, Ms. Duncan Hines.
Thank you. In the 2 years that I've been on the board, in the 2 years that I've been on the board, there were 4 things I told you I wanted to do when I was elected. Number 1 was support teacher raises. I did that in the first year, and I voted no for this budget because it did not include a teacher raise, and it was only a bonus. The bonus does not help into their retirement, and so that was the main reason I wanted to see another teacher raise. The budget this year also did not have any community input. We had 3 community meetings. One of the things I've done on the board is try to get the community more involved in our board meetings. We did that. We moved 2 of our board meetings a year to schools where it's away from downtown, where it's in a new venue, where we're at the schools, so that it gives you some community input. In 2 years that I've been on this board, we have not asked for any new money from the city council. We've had the same dollar amount allocated to us for 2 years. And in those 2 years, we've been able to give teacher raises. We've been able to lay technology out to our high schools and also to our middle schools with no new funds. And we've also paid off over $2.5 million in debt services, all with no new funds. And what we did with that budget and those 2 budgets is look for innovative ways to find money to reallocate those sources without having to come back to you. And that hits what I told you I would do. The VOTEC piece that we've all talked about, the CTE, and we're going to call it the CTE and VOTEC, those are now a must fund because the State Department has said we still teach the way we did in 1915 for our high schools. So we must be innovative again in this budget to find ways to do our CTE and our VOTEC program. I am committed to community involvement. You will have open access to me as you already have. I will continue to keep our school board in the forefront so that we can all have a good discussion about what is best for Portsmouth Public Schools. Thank you, and vote November 8th.
All right, we're going to move on to our challengers. You also will have 2 minutes for your closing statements. And again, we're going to be going in reverse alphabetical order this time. So Ms. Clark, we start with you.
Thank you. As a retired individual in Portsmouth, I have a great deal of time that I can commit to this job if you honor me with your vote this November 8th. I also understand the burden to all of us with the high taxes, and I understand that we need increased revenue to keep our city moving. We need to attract new residents to our city. We need to have a vision on how we're going to do that. That job mainly is tasked with City Council, but it is the school board's task in order to keep those revenues in line and their spending. With the operating budget last year of over $191 million, I expect that will increase, particularly with our bonding issues. We need to understand that throwing more money at a shrinking population of students is not going to make things better. We have to be innovative in what we're going to approach. I look forward to serving you in that approach and working with each and every one of the members on the board. And I hope that I can do it in a way that will make you all pleased. And I look forward to serving you in the future.
Mr. Barnes, you have 2 minutes as well.
First, I want to thank you all for inviting me out here. This was definitely a good experience. I'm running for school board because I'm dedicated to kids. All my life, I've been working with children. I grew up in Dale's Home, which is downtown Portsmouth. And one of the things that bothered me when I was out there that started me to work with children is we used to have a basketball court out there. And one day we came home, well, the basketball court basically kept the kids out of trouble. It kept me out of trouble. Growing up in Dale's Home is a lot of ways to get in trouble. But that court was there and it was a safe haven for us. It was always people up there. One day we came home, they took the basketball court. A lot of my friends, they started doing different things to get in trouble. They started selling drugs. Once you started selling drugs, you start to drop out of school because the money looks good. Once the money looks good, you start to get locked up because you put yourself in more risk of getting in trouble. So that court was very important. So when I had a brother, and he made sure that I.
That wasn't us, that was the battery.
Don't touch the buttons.
You've got 50 more seconds.
So, like I said, the court kept me out of trouble. So, as I grew up, I went to school. I did a lot of research on different topics as far as keeping kids out of trouble and the effect that it has with having different programs in place. So, when I got older, I started a nonprofit for youth, and like I said earlier, we service over 600 children a year, starting at 4 years.
We obviously have a technical issue. I sincerely apologize. I'll just give you this one.
Those kids in my program, we started at 4 and we stop at 14. Those kids never will have the opportunity to get in trouble because not only do we provide them with an outlet for sports, we sit in their classrooms with them. We make sure that if the parent can't do certain things, we're the ones doing it as well. We want to be a big brother to them, just like
Ms. Atkinson, you're next.
The test. Okay, I would like to thank people from Portsmouth for the invite. Also, I want to leave everyone with this. Insanity is when you do the same thing twice and expect different results. When you go home tonight, ask yourselves, are you truly satisfied with Portsmouth Public Schools and how it's been the last 4 years? If not, you have different alternatives, you have different options. What I would like to see is an inclusive school system where education is equal, not discrimination based on sex, race, mental disability, or sexual orientation. I will also like to see partnerships. I have a gift of bringing businesses, community organizations, and people together. I have an acronym for IMPACT. Imagine moving people and coming together. That's what it's going to take for our school systems to improve. All of us united as one for the children. I have the best interests of the children of Portsmouth Public Schools at heart. I'm willing to go out from behind the desk, go out into the neighborhoods, go out into the schools, knock on doors, do whatever it takes for our children to be successful. I ask everyone in here for your vote on November 8th. Lakeisha Clue-Atkinson, Portsmouth School Board.
Ms. Allen, your final closing statement for tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity tonight to come out and speak with you all. I understand the importance that we have in front of us. Our school systems have some issues, We have some great things going on in our school system, and no one can argue the great things that we have going on. But we have some issues, and those issues are going to require us to have some tough conversations about where our school system is going forward. We have to make sure that we get our accreditations up. One thing that I can promise you, because I've already been doing it, I serve on a state level, I serve on a regional level, and I serve locally. This isn't new for me. I am asking now to serve you in an elected capacity. I am willing and committed to put the time and effort and all of my resources at my disposal to move Portsmouth Public Schools forward. I am asking you to hire me because ultimately I will be working for each and every one of you, and I will ask you to hold me accountable if you do not feel I am doing the job that I am asking you to hire me to do. I am Angelia Allen. Service is my lifestyle. Allow me to serve you.
Thank you all very much for your input and information tonight. If we could
Madam
just ask...
Moderator, I want to ask you, the sound department takes responsibility, but I would ask, if it's okay with Madam Chairman, could we please allow Mr. Barnes an additional 30 seconds to address, because he had multiple interruptions and it causes all kinds of issues.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to end it by saying we have an election on November 8th, and I'm asking all of you to make sure you vote for DeAndre A. Barnes for school board. Like I said earlier, I'm dedicated to the children. I'm not just out here trying to run for school board just because. When I leave here, I'm going to the field right now to deal with our kids. Every day, all day is what I do. I love kids. Thank you.
We could just ask for your patience for just a few minutes longer. We are going to bring up Lee Cherry to close out the night, so just stick around for a few more minutes and then you can go and enjoy your evening.
Have you got me? Okay. First of all, it really hurts when somebody says he's going to speak, we need your patience. But I want to thank you, first of all, for being here, coming out tonight. Our school board is huge in this city. It's important in this city. Look around in this auditorium. There are not a lot of us that have children in school right now. We may have grandchildren. We need more young people in our city to make it thrive. And it's going to do that based on what we do with our schools. The only thing I would say to these distinguished people as they talk about the suspension rate is maybe it's time we started holding parents accountable for the issues of their children and quit blaming school boards and police officers for the fact that the parents aren't doing their job in the election.
Hence the patience.
Yeah. I want to thank Laura for being here, and I stepped out in the beginning, but I am part of my job as PIO. And I get a chance to work with a lot of reporters. This young lady is exceptional. When I first met her, I found out that she is the holder of the very prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award for investigative journalism. So let's give Laura a hand. Now they're here. He just came in. It had me nervous. Charles Greenhood is here, the maker of famed bagel nuts. If you haven't tried them, they're great. He's got them back here. And nuts to bad government. And you're going to sell them, right? Charles? Sure am. Sure, okay. And when you buy them, we get some of the proceeds towards people of Portsmouth. Additionally, we have these signs available for your front yard, and we'd like to see you pick those up. It's part of the way that we're going to be raising funds. Very shortly, you will be receiving on your Facebook the survey from tonight of this very distinguished panel. We're going to ask that you cast your vote. That gives us a way of looking at how they scored. We're here to support you as you have supported the people of Portsmouth. So it's important we have your input. So please look in your Facebook, check on it, and reply to the survey. Very soon, an email, very soon, we will be announcing all of the candidates, and we look forward to that. And the real thing that's coming up is on September the 10th, between the hours of 2 and 4, at Bayside Harley-Davidson, which is located on Frederick Boulevard, right there where the interstate is, 264, we're going to have a candidate rally. Paul Bell, who handles our audio, is also a very good DJ. So for 2 hours, we're going to have music, but more importantly, all of our candidates will be there for this rally. The rally is important because that's how we're going to get our ground game together. We've got a very short time now to make a change, very necessary change in this city and in the way we are governed. And all you have to do is read today's paper to know that we've got a problem. The only way we're going to cure that problem is to get people to come out and vote. And we're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to work long, but I am absolutely convinced we can do it. There will be food available at the rally. I think most of you are familiar with Rugg's Barbecue, but you'll also have hot dogs if you don't want barbecue, and soft drinks. And I'm trying to get the snow cone people out there. Pelican snow cones, if you haven't tried it, it's great. They have 100 flavors. I've got 94 left to go. It's really all good. So please put on your calendar, September the 10th, 2 to 4, Harley-Davidson, come out, support your candidate. We're going to have sign-ups for people that want to participate in helping us get voter registration, working in the neighborhoods, phone banks, everything we need to do to have a major ground game to make this election a successful election for the city of Portsmouth. I thank you very much, and thank you for the job that you do.
And now is the time for you to come meet the candidates, say hello, talk to them, and buy bagel nuts and buy our signs. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You all right?
I should have just stood up on this part instead of trying to step over.
Sometimes we just move fast. That's all. That's all.
Right. Yeah. My age, you fast. That'd be something.
I know. Take it easy for sure.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.